One of the things that I keep encountering across America as I travel around is this early gemstone design that almost completely disappears in later American fastening history, but was seemingly very important for this early period. So I first stumbled upon this design looking at the gemstones of J. Harry Howard from the 1930s and onwards. He often uses the same cut, which is essentially a round brilliant, but with a third tier added, giving it a star-like impression from the front of the stone. Now, at first I thought this was an anomaly. I'd seen it in several of the 1930s Howard stones, but it wasn't until I started to see the same pattern again in Montana and again in Maine, looking at the early cutting histories of those mining localities, that I started to think that, hey, maybe there's something to this. The design consists of main facets, break facets, and star facets, which is really just the regular round brilliant design for the top. And on the bottom of the stone, we've got 8 main facets with 16 break facets, which is, again, the normal round brilliant cut, but with the addition of a third tier. 8 star facets that complement the star facets on the crown side. Now, the one thing that I always thought that the brilliant cut was missing was a balance for the star facets on the top of the stone. So when we've got light coming into the crown through the mains, it comes down and there's main facets, the pavilion mains, underneath for the light to hit and mirror off of. But if the light goes into the stars, there's no facet underneath of there that complements that index. There's only the mains. So when we add this third tier to the pavilion facets, the top and the bottom of the stone are perfectly in harmony. So this is now a completed idea. It seems really interesting to me that the early American cutters were fixated on this cut because we don't see it being used anywhere else. I don't see it in Europe. I don't see it in modern American cutting. It's just this one period between 1880 and about 1930 or so, maybe slightly later, but definitely before the 1950s. Earlier in the year, I came across this cut in Montana and I saw this necklace from 1910, which is full of Montana sapphires cut in this same 3-tiered round brilliant design. Now, in the stones that I've seen that belong to J. Harry Howard from the 1930s, he used this cut on almost everything. I've seen it on amethyst, I've seen it on sapphires, I've seen it on aquamarines. Some of the biggest stones that he cut were in this pattern. So I've been looking at it, focusing on it, and experimenting with it to see how it works in different situations. And so far what I've seen is that it's a really useful cut.